To encourage conversion, you have to be able to lower the mental effort that it requires of your customers. This principle is known as cognitive load, and it basically refers to the load that performing a task will place on your cognitive system. So, essentially, the total amount of mental effort that you are spending in your working memory to do something. So if you have your tax return, that's going to take a high cognitive load, a lot of mental effort, versus making a cup of tea, which is going to take very little. So the closer you can get it to being easy, like making a cup of tea, the more people will convert. Processing fluency. And this is essentially the ease with which we process any kind of information, whether it's visual stuff like photography or faces, or text, or auditory or haptic cues. And the thing to know here is that content, which is easier to process, will of course be generally easier to manage. It will also be perceived as more trustworthy than stuff which is less fluent. So if you're a brand and you're trying to reach out to new customers that don't know who you are, trust is going to be really important. So if you can make your content fluent, it genders that source of sense of trust.
So in the face of increasing automation, when we're using AI increasingly in our work, in our private lives, in our organizations, our education, our businesses, our success, not only as individuals and in organizations, but also as society and perhaps even as a civilization, will be determined by our capacity to dream, create, and to connect, and to our ability to envision a future based on shared values around the kind of world that we want to build and pass on to our children.